My name is Bill, and I'll be your reader tonight. I'm going to start by clearing the air. The question we are reading is from a person who sent me this question today. I feel hopeless about my future. What happens next? I feel hopeless about my future. What happens next? Good morning, Chloe. I feel hopeless about my future. What happens next? Well, it's not quite good morning yet. It's good morning is in about another hour, I think. No, 15 minutes. So what happens next for this person? Though they feel hopeless now, it's not necessarily is not necessarily hopeless. What I see is that up to this date, you have completed a lesson. You have completed a lesson in your journey. You have completed a lesson in your journey, though what you are experiencing is you are experiencing not the jubilation of completing something, not the spiritual high of completing something, but you are experiencing the fulfillment of a project. What happens next is that what happens next here is this. The next stages here is that you are, once you process through all the layers of completion, because you are experiencing a bankruptcy, of having to let go of a dream that seemed as though it failed. But that failure that you're experiencing is the completion of a mission. The ending of a cycle. It's the ending of a cycle. And this ending of this cycle, this completion, is opening your world up to a brand new adventure. Yes, you feel dark. Yes, you feel like there's nothing to look forward to. But I'm here to tell you that there is something to look forward to. There's the next adventure. You can formulate a new dream. You can make a new seed. Your cup, the cup of your heart, Though here it looks as though it's empty, it's full of ashes. It's full of debris. But from the ashes, something new is born. The phoenix, the story of the phoenix is that it is reborn out of the ashes of a world that burned to the ground. And your world feels like it's burning to the ground, and all that is left here is ashes. Ashes. Look in there, just ashes. And some debris, a partially burnt up candle, some needles, hopes and dreams burnt to ash. And that's what you are feeling, and that is what is in your cup right now. But this represents your heart, the cup of your heart. There will be a rebalancing in your future. Let's just take a look at all the numbers here. This shows that this tarot spread, these cards show that you have plenty to hope for. You have plenty to hope for, that your cup will fill again. It will fill with the waters of your life, the breath of your life. It will fill up again. That you have so much left, so much more to give to this world. Welcome, CKCMR. Welcome. You have more to give, and this is what this says. This says you have more to give, but we don't know what it is yet. We don't know what it is yet that you have to give to the world, because you have just finished. You have finished an assignment. You have completed a mission. This thing that you have done is fulfilled. And now there are more options. Once you cycle through your grief of losing your dreams, you can see that there are multiple options. And from that, you can, we have this Hierophant, which is this in talking about rules and societal rules, but in this sense, it's about I'll be with you in a moment when I finish this reading here. When from here, it is about forming a new reality, and not thinking about what the societal norms are, not thinking about the rules are, because it's a wide open world full of options. And from there, you can form a new seed for a new cycle to begin new. Now let's just take a look at what the outcome here is. It is a sign, right now, mildly depressed. The Sun card is about exuberant. And so the result of starting this new cycle is that first, your world will be like an overcast. But eventually, as you form a new plan, the sun will once again shine in your life. The sun will once again shine on your life. And let's just see if we take a look at this energy and see if we can get a direction of travel. And I will take a look at these numbers. What is the next step? And we're looking at 11 plus 21, 11 plus 21 plus 7 plus 5 plus 19. So 2, 3, 7, 5, and 1. And that's 5, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. So all of these numbers together, meaning that you are in a completed state. Now what comes next? What comes next is 1, a new beginning. All of these things outline that your mission so far has come to an end. But there is a new beginning. KCMR, I will be with you in just a moment. Welcome, Mama Sushi. And if we look at just these cards, we're looking at 3, 10, 15, 26. 2 plus 6 is 8. So the manifestation of 8 is that you still have things that you can manifest into reality. So let's see. I want to do one other thing. Jihan Butler, welcome. Welcome. And KCMR, I will be with you just in a moment. I want to see, we're going to go in and grab an energy, a page number from this book it's for bibliomancy, and looking for what happens next. What happens next? $11. $9. $4. So the numerical energy of that $6. So what happens next will be about unleashing your love. But let's take a look at page 1194 and see what it has to say. Breaking but the sign behind Jesus, still the same abides, still unbroken does remain. Lo, the angels' food is given to the pilgrim who has striven. See the children's bread from heaven, which on dogs may not be spent. Truth, the ancient types fulfilling. Isaac bound, a victim willing. Paschal lamb, its life blood spilling. Manna to the Father sent, very bread, good shepherd, tend us. Just you of your love befriend us, you refresh us, you defend us, your eternal goodness send us in the land of life to see. You who all things can and know, who on earth such food bestow, grant us with your saints the lowest, where the heavenly feasts you show, follow heirs and guests to be. Amen. The bread of life from heaven, says the Lord. If anyone who eats this bread will live forever. It's about life. Life. Eating of the bread of life. Breaking bread with others. Being fed by the love of God. So what I get from this, the bread of life, and what the bread of life does, that it feeds people and sustains life. So what happens next? Maybe you need to look at something, to do something that is more helpful to your health, that will sustain your life better. What will sustain? What will sustain your life better in a more healthy manner? And 6. So if we look at 6 is a number that talks about love and harmony. So maybe what you should be looking for, as far as if it's career, things that are bound in relationships, that are bound in, not in chaos, but in harmony, in the balancing of the yin and the yang, of looking for doing things that is more about supporting life, about being fulfilled, sustaining life. So that's kind of what I get in this. What can you look at career-wise is something that will sustain your life and bring you into a place of harmony, and one in which it is supportive of other people. Okay, so that's what I got. All right, now, are you still there? KCMR, are you still there? Are you still there, KCMR? If you're still there, KCMR, I will read for you. But we'll just clear the air while we wait for KCMR to see if he comes back. If not, we'll move on. Okay. All right, Jen, I will be with you right after KCMR. KC KCMR is next. And we're looking at today's still the 9th. We started this reading on the 9th. This is number 2. Oh, you're leaving already. Okay. Good night. Let's see what your question is, KCMR. Guidance. Well, you're seeking guidance on how to reignite, how to reignite your SPIR, your spiritual life. Okay. So you are in the dark and you want to know how to get out of the dark. Okay, KCMR, what we're going to do first is how do I get out of this depression? Okay, so KCMR, beyond going to therapy, if therapy is something that you cannot afford, because I've been there in a place where you cannot afford therapy. I've been down there in that darkness, and I've been there in a place, and I went through a depression that lasted almost a full decade, and I almost didn't survive it too. I can tell you that, and that's the truth. I almost didn't survive that depression. A lot of it was spurred on by a lot of different things, being exhausted, a broken heart. There were other things. I did get out of the depression. I did read books. I did read spiritual books. I spent time in nature. I did a lot of walking. I did lots of walking because I was poor, and that was the walked. I was living in a small city. I walked every single alley in that city. I walked from edge to edge. I walked the whole city. I rode bicycles. I did some kind of activity every single day that I could. I went to work. I continued to go to work. I got up. I breathed in and out. I ate. I went to work. I came home. Maybe I read a book, maybe not. I went and took a walk. I walked. Then I went to bed. And I did that. I repeated that cycle and kept repeating that cycle. Other things I did during that time is I went to church. I'm a Catholic. Though I do have some different ideas. I've always had some different ideas about, but sometimes having that fellowship to be around others is a good thing. Maybe that doesn't make sense to you. Maybe what makes sense to you is Buddhism. if it's some kind of another spiritual group, maybe if it's a Buddhist thing, if that's something that makes sense to you, maybe it's Tai Chi, maybe it's yoga, but find some kind of a spiritual activity or community that makes sense to you, and engage in it, and make sure that you engage with other people, because that is where your healing, much of your healing will come from, is in being around other people. Maybe you need a volunteer job. Maybe you need to volunteer at a soup kitchen. Maybe you need to volunteer at a hospital. Maybe you need to volunteer in some capacity in which you can help other people. Gen 11, this is about KCMR's question, his reading, and I will be with you next. I will be with you next, Gen 11. And I'm talking, and so KCMR has asked some questions here. He has some very heavy things. And I am giving, that's what I'm doing right now. When I'm done with KCMR, I will answer your question. And okay, so let us go and ask. I'm going to ask the tarot. So I'm giving you the practical advice of things that can help to get out of a depression, out of this place where you are hurting. And a lot of it just revolves around one step at a time. Taking your life one step at a time. But let us see what the tarot says as far as how can you get out of this. This is for KCMR. How can KCMR get out to stop hurting? How can KCMR stop hurting? What steps does KCMR need to take to get out of this darkness? How can KCMR stop hurting? Okay. So where you're at right now is right here. You are right here right now. You're laying down on the ground. In this place that feels like there's no hope, in this hopeless place, you're laying down here on the ground, stabbed in the back, feeling betrayed, feeling as though there's no way that you can get up from this because you have all of these swords in your back. But what you may not be seeing right now is that the sun is beginning to rise, that there is a way out. So in this place of devastation where you are, there is a way out. It's way, way over there. Your head is turned and you can see it. You can actually see that the dawn is coming. And so the other thing is that you are here, and then this is like where you need, and so this is something else that you need to do. You need to look at your life from a different point of view because you feel powerless. You're just hanging there. You're hanging there like you're hanging from a tree, bound. But if you kind of open up your eyes a little bit, that you can take a look at your situation differently, more objectively. Yes, your world is devastated. Yes, you hurt. But there are things that you can do. And the tarot is saying that a new dawn is coming, but you need to look at your situation differently. You need to take a look at everything that has gone on and reevaluate it. So one of the things that you could do is you could journal about what you are feeling. Journal your feelings. Write them down. Write everything down of what you're feeling. And then just close the book. The next day, do it again. Write down everything you are feeling. Just write it down. Just continue to write that stuff down. But try and read back over that stuff. Try and read over that stuff and see if there's anything in there that may even seem silly. But go through and take out the major points of the things that why you are feeling devastated, why you are hopeless, why. Write that stuff down like in a bullet fashion, like a bullet list of why, of those whys. And see if there is another way you can look at this stuff. That's what this card is telling me. That's what the Spirit's telling me in this moment. Now, you are in a place where you are completely out of balance. You are completely out of balance. So you're going to need to rebalance yourself. And so to find some clarity in your situation, to find some justice. You may be having some issues of where things do not feel equal, where you are a victim. You are a victim of circumstances. But this is saying that there's going to be to do some hard work. So it's going to be hard work. Doing what I said here is going to be hard work. Getting up off the ground is going to be hard work. There's nothing easy about what you're going through. There's nothing easy about it. I can't give you some easy fix. There is no easy fix. There's nothing easy. It's going to be work. To get out of this place you are at is going to take work, and it's going to take time, and that's okay. So the next thing, another thing you have to do is because some of the times when we are deep down in it, we are hanging on to all that pain. We hang on to all that pain because, in some sense, we kind of almost like it, to be that victim. But this is telling you need to rebalance yourself. You need to come back into a state of balance and harmony. So we have the scales here, and in this sense, you're out of balance. But this is saying you need to rebalance yourself. Okay? And then the other state of being that you are in is that you are in a place where you do not feel that you have any agency, that you have zero control over what's going on. And in that, you are in a place of fear and anxiety. Now, I have an anxiety disorder. I have been suffering with anxiety since I was like 20 years old. I'm almost 60 now, so 40 years, it's roughly anxiety for almost 40 years. But there are things that you can do. And the things that I talked about earlier that you can do: taking walks, journaling, getting involved in community, volunteering. See, what this does is doing those activities can give you strength if you get small successes, and it can show you that you do have agency in your life, that you can make your own decisions, that you can be strong. That you can be strong. You can build your inner strength up. And this depression will be something that can be, if it's like that can give you strength to live your life in the future. Now, you may need to go see a counselor. You may need to go see a therapist. And that may be your best course of action in the right now. But my advice, if you cannot afford to go, if you cannot find somebody that you can just talk to in this moment, you can do these other things that I talked about: the journaling, the hard work of the journaling, the looking at your life from a different point of view, the rebalancing, volunteering, getting involved in community activities, being around other people, finding somebody to talk to. Somebody who's just willing to listen. Just to listen. Just to be present and hold space with you, to listen. And all those things can help to rebalance yourself so that you can get out of this spot and enter into that sunlight. The tarot is saying that you can do this. And let's just go look here. So you have this broken heart. And this broken heart you can come into a place of emotional recovery. And that's what this is saying. This is saying that you can come into a place of emotional recovery. And that is on the horizon. So I don't know if you're still there. I don't know if you're still there, KCMR. But that's what I got for you. And you can refer back to this video at a later date. We're looking at 6 plus 12 plus 8 plus 10 plus 3. And that's 26, 36, 37, 38, 39. 3 plus 9 is 12. And that is a state of creative expression. It is being a balancing between the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, the Trinity, and all the rest. Okay, KCMR, I hope that this helps. I don't know if you're still there or not, but I hope this helps. So we're going to move on. Gen 11, are you still there? Are you still here, Gen 11? Let us clear the air. So Gen 11, if you're still there, please let me know, and I will read your question. You may, but I want to see if Gen 11 is still there, Star, because Gen 11 had asked a question, and I don't know if Gen 11 is still here. I'm going to give Gen 11 just a couple more seconds, and then we'll read your question. So Gen 11, if you're still there, please pop back in to say I'm here. Otherwise, we will move on to the next person. Okay, all right, Star. All right. Gen 11 isn't here, so we'll go to you, Star. 8, 9 for number 3. And RMV is... All right. So your question, Star, is are my ex-friends trying to hurt me in any way? I heard something happened to my friend and now they want to blame it onto me. You're not sure. Okay. All right. Let's see how do we boil this down. Are my ex-friends plotting against me? Against me? Do they seek to hurt me and make me their scapegoat? Scapegoat. Does that sound right? So, are my ex-friends plotting to scapegoat me for some situation? So if I were to write this down in a singular sentence, okay. That's fine. I think I got that. We've got this into a single question. All right. Ashina, did you change your channel name, didn't you, Ashna? Ashna, you changed your channel name recently, didn't you? Okay, for Star. Star is seeking guidance here. Mother Mary, I call upon you right now. On behalf of Star, please tell us the truth. Mother Mary Star is concerned. She has heard rumors about people she used to hang out with. She fears that they are plotting against her, plotting to scapegoat her for something that Star did not do. Mother Mary, help us to come find the truth in this situation. We're doing a 3-card. Are they trying to do this? 3-card yes, no, and then we will go and explore from there. Yes, no. The question being, so Star, I'm going to ask you to start I want you to Star, I want you to tell me when to stop shuffling. I'll shuffle until you tell me to stop shuffling. Hail Mary, okay. Right there. So, what the tarot is saying is no. But this is a soft no. So what it's telling me here, what Spirit's telling me is that something did happen, but you're overreacting to, you're kind of you're being overly dramatic about what it is you're feeling. You are feeling, your emotions are burdening you, are being, you're overburdened by your emotions, and a little bit paranoid by this situation. And Spirit is saying that you really need to focus down on focus on things and juggling stop juggling all of these emotions and these ideas that you are kind of concocting in your head, because these things are just causing you to feel like it's just like you're pushing uphill. You have an uphill battle that you're pushing. And so are you being scapegoated? And so from the energy that I'm getting here, the question is no, you are not. But you got too much stuff going on in your head. And in your head, you're overwhelmed by what you're feeling, and you're tired. You're exhausted because you feel like this huge burden that you're having to push through. So maybe you want to find out what is going on. So what is going on is a is disharmony. You have a lack of you're in your heart. There is disharmony, ONY. So that is from a 6 that is in reverse. So you're in a state of disharmony, and so you need to. So what's going on here is that now that's one of the things. I want to find out what the vibe of this situation is. I got this oracle card. We're gonna go into what's the vibe, and this I want to find out what the vibe of what's going on here, and see if we could just get some direction, just a few directions for you to identify, so that you can like get out of this funk that you're in. So I'm going to ask the question is, how can Star the question is why does Star feel this way? I'm going to rewrite that question as this. Why? Why does Star feel like this way, like this? We want to know, why do you feel like this? All right, Ashina, I will be with you next. So what is the vibe here on Star? Why does Star? What's going on in Star? What is going on in Star? Why does she feel this way? these cards kind of popped out. Interesting. Why? The reasons. So this came out in reverse is so that you have like, how do I interpret this? Okay. Family. Bad decisions were made. And there's a sense of just wanting to have fun. So your ties, your inner circle was broken. Their inner circle was broken. There was a bunch of bad decisions were made because of people wanting to have fun, and the result is you got to run away, escape, and come into run away from this situation. They were your friends, but they're not your friends anymore. Your inner circle has been broken by games that were played, bad decisions, and now you have a sense that you need to run. Does that make any sense? How do you, so this is why, in a sense of why you feel in a state of disharmony. But we're going to go look, yeah, so that makes sense. Okay, all right. So are they scapegoating you? That was a soft no, which means it could be a maybe. They could be, but most likely they're not. But they still they have their fun with you. So you need to watch your back. So I'm going to go after a page number, Star. I want to see what, I'm going to go for a page number and see what Spirit has to say as far as what can speak through that page number. Be here, present, right now. Mother Mary, guide us to a word that will help Star to understand. $13. $7. 137. One, 3, 7, 7. 14, 9. So this adds up to the number 9, which means that whatever's going on, this is the end. Whatever you experienced, that was the end of it. So they're not going to, nothing more needs to come from it. And so the words of 9 about the number 9 is compassion, completion, conclusion. So the conclusion of a story. But the conclusion of the story may be coming. So let's take a look at page 1377. And what is the conclusion of that story? So the conclusion of that story star is this of triumph. Of being the victor. The conclusion is that of triumph. But let's take a look at page 1377. And let's see what there is there. The law. Peter, examples to be followed. So what I see here, from here, it is saying that to follow guides. So you it's what Spirit's telling me is that to get out of this funk that you're in, and to come so that you come into this place of triumph and come through this funk. 6, and that 6 and the 6 being and to become into a state of harmony. I will assure you I'll be right with you. So to re-harmonize yourself, you need to follow someone who has your best interest at heart, who is like a hero to you, someone whom you look up to, and explain this situation to them, the whole thing of everything that happened, and that you can find somebody who's got an elder, an elder, someone that you look up to, somebody who is a leader person in your life, that you trust their advice, trust their leadership role, confide in that person, and see that and ask them, how do I get out of this situation that you're in? That's what Spirit is telling me, is that you need to trust the advice of another individual, someone who you trust, someone who you look up to, someone who you trust not to trample on your heart. And so that's what I got for you. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps you. Sherry, there is someone who, okay, how about we do Ashana's reading first? Is it okay that we do someone who asked for a reading first before you? Ashana, are you still present? Ashana, are you still present? Okay. I feel stuck. How do I escape this state of inaction how do I escape into a state of action? How do I reestablish agency for my life? How do I establish agency in my life? Okay, that's the question. So, are you still here? Ashna, are you still here? Please let me know. Otherwise, I will move on. I'm going to clear the air. And okay. She's not here then. We'll put that aside and then we'll move on. And Sherry has a question. Mother Mary. Anu Sherry has a question about the chosen partner. How long How far away is your partner? Okay, Ashna is here. So Ashna, okay, so Ashina is there. Okay. So and Sherry, um, Ashina has come back. So you want to know? I'll be right with you. The question I ask is you say you're separated from your partner. How far are you? Um, Asna, I have written down your question here, but I already started working on this question. So it's been 2 months, and you want to know how much longer do you have to wait? Okay. I'm not so sure that I can answer that question. Um, well, you asked this question now, but I will be right with you here. I will do you next. So I'm not so sure. No text, no calls. All right. I'm going to say, how many months do you have to wait? How many months till comes home? So you have no contact with this person. he doesn't contact you, but you think he's perfect for you. Okay, the question then is, I'm going to rewrite this question is, will my partner return home? Return to me. Okay. We're going to ask it this way. Your parents separated us. Yes, but there's a possibility that there's a possibility that he may not ever come back. Your parents separated you. Okay. I'm gonna ask the question this way, because you have no contact with this person. He doesn't contact you. Your parents do not want you to be in contact with one another. So we're going to have to ask is if this union will ever happen. That's the only thing I can ask it, because you've done everything physically in order to reach out to him, and he has not reached back out to you. So you have to accept the possibility that he's never coming back, because that is always a possibility in this. Okay. I'm going to do it for this. Will they be together? From this, it says you will. This says that someday you will be together, but it doesn't say when. So in order for this to happen, so in order for this to happen, somebody has to break the rules. There is this sense of they have to not give up. So your partner, this guy you want to be with, is in a fight. He's in a fight. He's fighting. He's fighting within himself, but in order to escape and to find this sense that someday a return will happen, he has to break all the rules. And that depends on what this means is that so if he breaks the rules, yes, if he breaks the rules, if he goes against tradition, then there is a possibility that you can have this married life and this family. And if we take a look at the bottom card, So it comes from being in, from having clarity of mind. He has to come to, in order for this to happen, there has to be clarity of mind and action. They have to be grounded in your place. Grounded in your place, in the place where this guy is the master of his universe, that he is the master of himself. He has to become the master of himself. And he has to cast away the stories, the mythology, and the customs of everything that his life is in. And so if he's able to do this, if he's able to become the master of his life, he'll be able to go through this fight, and he'll be able to cast away the rules that govern your society, your life, and what your traditions and customs say. And with that, to go into a new state of being, which is that of choosing your own mate. And so that's the story that he's up against, that you're not allowed to choose your own mate. So I can't tell you when that's going to happen, because this is not anything you can force. You can't force this. There's no amount of... So at this time, you are just going to have to wait, because the ball is in his court. So we have the numbers 9, 5, 10, 19, 20, 6. So it's sense of this harmony governed by love and change. So in order to have love, there's going to have to be a major change that's going to happen. So I don't know. So is there anything that you can do? I think probably you can wait. Can you send him a letter? You don't know where he's at, but maybe somebody in your community knows where he's at and can put a message out to him. You can send him a letter. Send him a love letter. You can do that. Send a love letter. Send a love letter. Tell him he is not bound by tradition. Tell him he can make up his own mind. However, there may be consequences to this. There may be huge financial consequences to going against the parents and going against them. You may lose. So I would just say, find a way to send him a love letter. Find somebody who will hand deliver that love letter to him. Can you do that? But let's do, I'm going to go ask, I'm going to ask, I'm going to look for a page number and see if there's a page number that will have a message for you. What can you do? And so we're asking the question, what can you do? What can you do? What can you do? $13. $9. $3. So 7. So the spirit behind the number 7 is to pull back from what you are doing and to spend time in quiet contemplation. So what this may be is that you are worried. You're worried you may never see him again. You're worried. All of those worries and everything you have, you need to pull away from that stuff and come into a place of peace within yourself. No matter what the outcome is, you need to come to a place of peace. Peace in yourself. And so let's just go into this book and take a look. Okay, so you have a mutual friend who who will be your courier. 1393. Transfiguration. Is about changing your state of mind. The transfiguration, it is moving from a place of fear to a place of love, from a place of fear to a place of peace. So the message from this page is that you gotta overcome your fears. You can't let fear rule your life because you are afraid. You're afraid you may never see this person again. So this is all about overcoming your fear. And the lesson you need to learn in this is you have to you need to learn to be not afraid. And you need to be at peace with whatever happens. Be not afraid and be at peace with whatever happens. Because for this person to be your marital partner, you both have to go against tradition and customs of in the place that you live. You have to go against the will of your parents. You have to go against the will of your community. And you cannot go against the will of your parents and your community if you are in fear. You have to come from a place of strength, and that place of strength is in a place where you are not touched by fear of what could happen, what may happen. A lot of things could happen, but that doesn't mean they will happen. Do not be afraid. By withdrawing from all these things in your life that make you afraid. You need to re-examine your life, look at things in a different point of view, and learn how to look at this situation with open eyes, with your eyes wide open, unafraid of what could possibly happen, including, because one of the things, the possible outcomes is that it may not happen. And that is something that you have to accept, because you're not the only person you're not the only person who, there's two parties here. You've made up your mind. He has to make up his mind. But there's a lot of things resting on his shoulders for him to make up his mind. All right, that's what I got for you. I hope that helped. And thank you for letting me read for you. I'm going to read for Asana, and because I've read for Asana before, I know Asana's energy. And if Asana is still here, she can come back and review this reading later. And this Asana will be my last. Oh, Ranch 222, are you still here? Are you in Ranch 222? Are you still here? If you're still here, oh, you're still there, Asana. Okay, all right. All right, here you go. We're going to read for you then. You're next. Are you going to clear the air? Mother Mary, Asana, needs help. Mother Mary, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Ashna. Holy Mary, Mother God, pray for Ashna now and all throughout her journey. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Ashna. Holy Mary, Mother God, pray for Ashna now and all throughout her journey. And Mother Mary, Ashna asked the question, how can she regain agency in her life? She feels stuck and unable to move. What steps does she need to do to re-establish agency in her life? What can Ashna do? What can Ashna do for to 420 So harmony, balance, 420. Okay. Seeing is believing. Believing is seeing. There's a reflexive relationships between belief and sight. Your body doubt. It's overcoming self-doubt, belief in self, belief in self, overcoming self-doubt, believing in yourself, loving yourself, loving yourself. You are in a relationship now, in the sense that you're looking at a relationship issue between your mind and your body. Sometimes these inertia things are about having too many options and not being able to choose anything. What this is saying is that you are beginning in a place of disharmony, and that you need to rebalance yourself. Rebalance self. So if we look at the number 4. The 4 is about building your foundations. You have strong foundations, and maybe part of those foundations is diet, exercise, making sure that you have community, you have different building up the foundation of your life. So we're looking at how do you rebalance yourself? Rebalance self. You have to first start by building your foundation. You need a strong foundation to stand upon. So that can be finances. Working on your finances, working on, getting a job, working on, or if it's you are going into business for yourself, you can do that. How to have control over your finances. Well, this will help. That's part of your foundation. Other parts of your foundation is your spiritual self, your spiritual life, your community life, your community life. Where do you sit in your community? Spiritual life, that's how you relate. How do you relate to the rest of the cosmos? How do you relate to your neighbors? How do you relate to your parents? How do you relate to your romantic partners? Or if you don't have a romantic partner, that's fine too. How do you relate to others? And then having a sense of family and community. Now, not everybody has family. Not everybody's family is a blood family. Sometimes family is the people we choose to be our family. Because sometimes our blood families are toxic, or they've passed on, or there's some reason they're just not there. But you have to have a family. And that's a very important thing, to have family. The family that is your blood, or the family of the people you choose to be your family. Very important thing. Your finances, your spiritual life, your community life, your family. These are the foundations that you stand upon. So that's a part of building yourself and balancing yourself. And when you feel that you're standing on shaky ground, sometimes it is hard. It's hard to feel like you have agency in your life. That the agency, and that agency meaning that you have this will to make your own decisions. And you see, you can make your own decisions. That's what agency means. Everybody, regardless of the mythological structure, the governing philosophies that govern your life, everybody has agency of one fashion or another. You may not have complete agency, because in some societies, some people have more agency than others. I don't know what your society is about, but where the limits that you are existing within that, and so how to establish your agency. Now, it may be that your inability to make a decision stems from a chemical imbalance in your brain. That could possibly be if you're neurodivergent. Sometimes it is hard to make decisions, and like if there's too much clutter in your life, it's kind of hard to clean up the clutter. There are all different ways that you build the foundation of your life. Spirit is telling you that you need to build the foundation of your life. And then there's the number 2. And 2 is intuition. 2 is that spirit of the divine feminine. 2 is the duality of your life. You have different aspects of your life. You have your shadow self, and you have your light self. And it's also coming into balance with that. We all have a dark side. Every single person walking around has a shadow self. Bringing that into the light is also important. So there is another for you. Now, we're going to go ask the tarot. I'm going to ask the tarot. What does Sheena need to do to break out of her funk? What does Sheena need to do to break out of her funk? Mother Mary, please grant us guidance in this moment. What does Sheena need to do to break out of her funk? Tell me when to stop shuffling. So tell me when to stop shuffling. It looks like one card already popped out. How do you break out of this funk? So I want you to, I'm going to shuffle until you tell me to stop. You can tell me when to stop. And that's the part of you taking the power in your life. And you have the power in your life. Okay. We are stopping. All right. Okay. All right. This is what the tarot says. Five, 8, 8 and 8, 16, 26, 34, 3 plus 4, 7. So, governed by the number 7. So, you are in this funk because there's a sense of poverty in your life. Whether it be spiritual poverty or financial poverty, those are two things. It could be there's a poverty. There's something that you are lacking. You feel that you are lacking something. And that lack is giving you has given you anguish, and you are distressed or heartbroken by this. Okay, so you have you are this financial poverty is causing you great pain. And in that, you are trying every way that you can to not feel that. You're walking away from that, but you're walking away from that running, that escapism is grounded in deception from your own self lies. So you are trapped in this cycle based upon things that aren't true. And you may not even have a financial, if you have enough to eat and you're not sleeping outdoors, you have enough to eat. Maybe it's not a luxurious lifestyle, and your environment is relatively free from pests. I know that could cause a lot of distress if there were things like mice in your house, if there were bugs in your house. If there's a way to get rid of those things, those very real things from the environment, the pests, the rodents, if you have that in there, that makes it hard to get a night of sleep. And then there's the worry. Thank you. Then there's the worry that comes with having those pests in your environment. Maybe you end up using chemicals, but maybe there's a way to get rid of those pests if they're there without using chemicals. Do that. But those are things that can come out of financial poverty that can cause a lot of mental pain and anguish. Is if you are I can probably do one more reading and then I have to go to bed myself. So when I go back to the rebalancing of your life, and that's something you got to really, really work on. And so one of those things is the financial that you have to work on, but you also have to work on this here. This is a biggie, and in this one, it's confronting your fears, confronting the things that you're afraid of, confronting the things in your good night, Chloe, confronting the things that are in your subconscious mind that give you fear, that give you anguish. So it's heartbreaking. Yeah. Heartbreak and all of those things. There are all these illusions. And we all, this is not just a you thing, it's a we thing. Yes. So confronting these things. And if it's heartbreak, okay, so you have supportive parents, and that is great. Well, Chinese Disco Babe, I'm gonna do one more question, and then I'll be back tomorrow. Because I do, I'll be back tomorrow. So there's this here, and confronting this. Now, if it's heartbreak, time is the only, there's, okay, with heartbreak, for heartbreak, Why is my pen not working? For heartbreak, time and distance. Time and distance is the only way to get over heartbreak. There are these other things I talk about. Time and distance. And it's taking one step at a time. And when I talked a little bit about this. Yeah. So you're going to have to take smaller steps. Heartbreak is, so like this number 7, withdrawing from, you have to take a step back away from yourself. That's kind of what I see here. But it's time and distance is the only way to pass through heartbreak. And you can't rush it. You can't rush it, but what you can do is do little small things. So let's say at the top, the second person I read for, I kind of went through things that you can do for heartbreak. Actually, it may have been something different, but things that you can do. You have to take your life one step at a time. Because what you feel right now is that this is your cup and it's full of ashes. You feel that you are just Ashna, if that is something you want to do, you can pursue that. Because you have the agency to make up your own mind about that. If you want to do tarot professionally, do tarot professionally. It's just going to take you have to spend the time to learn a new skill. I will be right with you. And let me finish Ashna's reading, and then I'll read for you. And then you'll be my last reading for the night. And so this is what you feel like this cup, and you're full of ashes. Okay. To get over a heartbreak, it's time and distance, and that's it. There's no way to rush it. There's no way to go faster. You have to get up in the morning. If you have a job, you go to your job. You breathe in and out. You come home. You try to do some activity, and you just repeat, rinse and repeat. It's like washing clothes, doing laundry. It's just like that. You just got to keep doing it. Eventually, you come out of the darkness. I guarantee you it'll happen eventually, but I can't tell you when. Time and distance, that's the only way to get through a heartbreak. Okay? I am going to, I will read for you again on another day. Okay. Ashley, I want to read for the next person, and then I need to go to bed because it is pretty late. But let's see what the outcome card was. So what this said here is on the bottom card, it's eventually you'll get through this stuff, and then you need to start all over with a fresh start. That's what awaits you. There's a brand new adventure. That's what's awaiting for you. But you're going to have to work through all of this stuff. You're going to have to work through your heartbreak. You're going to have to work through your financial issues. You're going to have to build the foundation of your life. It's a lot of things to do, but it's okay. You can do it because people do this stuff all the time. All right? So come back again, and I'm going to clear the air here, do my last reading for the night. All right. No, you can't heal anyone else's past traumas. You can only... Okay, let's go clear the air, and then we'll get to your question. So you got a lot of things that your question is that we're talking about here. We're going to only have the time for one question here. Humera, I don't know if I'm probably not pronouncing that right. I think you're number 6. Okay. Let's get... Okay. We want one question. Humera, please, just only one question. Because that's all I have time for tonight. I do have... I have duties to it. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I'm pronouncing it right. Humera, for me, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. And so I'm going to look here. You're looking for career. When it comes to trauma, you can't fix anybody else's trauma. You can't. The only person you can fix is yourself, and you may not even be able to do that. So the idea of you need to get out of your mind. You have to get out of your mind an idea that you can fix people. Humera, I need you to really listen to this. This is a life lesson that is very important to learn, is that you can't fix people. When you are in relationship with one another, you have to accept the person for who they are, and if the person is okay, all right. So you have this sense of, and I'm answering. I don't. This is not. It's not something that needs tarot to. The whole thing, because you mentioned about fixing past trauma, and you cannot fix him. You cannot fix him, and you may not even be able to fix yourself. There are things that happen in our we have Right, it's so to make small changes are just so hard. Life is hard. There's nothing easy about living this life, especially in our world today. I don't know what it was like in the past because I'm not in the past. If I go give you an example from my life and things that there are things that I'm still working through trying to fix, and I've been working on these things for 20 years and I still haven't fixed them. Sometimes the only thing that I've been able to fix is I quit drinking years ago and I quit using tobacco, but it took me 12 years to get off of tobacco. The next thing I have to fix is my diet. Fixing my diet because of insulin resistance, diabetes, but we're not going to talk about it. I want you to really think about that because you mentioned fixing somebody else's trauma. Can't you can't fix their trauma. What you can do is you can suggest them to go to a counselor, to go to a spiritual leader, a spiritual director, if there's counseling is not available, but you can work on yourself. There are things that you can do for yourself if you need fixing. But for your boyfriend or your ex-boyfriend, you have to accept the fact that you can't fix him. You can't. He can fix himself, but you can't fix him. All right? Okay. I want to go to your other question, which is about are you looking for a direction for career? I'm going to what I can do here is I can what I'm going to do is I'm just not going to tell you specific types of jobs, but it may be things that you might be best suited for. And we're going to ask spirit what you are. Okay. We're going to ask spirit of direction what direction what direction should go career wise? Career wise. So what career is Humira? What? Okay. All right. I'm going to center myself down. I'm going to do a little, I'm going to pray here. Just a centering prayer. Mother Mary, be with us now. Humira is seeking direction on what she can do career wise in this life. What type of career? What spirit of this career should she be seeking for her greater good? What spirit should this career embody that will be to the betterment of her spiritual well-being? Okay? I'm going to shuffle, and you're going to tell me when to stop shuffle. Humira, I want you to tell me when to stop shuffling. I'm going to just let me just shuffle 3 times, and then after that, I'm going to shuffle some more, and you're going to tell me when to stop. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to do some overhand shuffling, and then you tell me when to stop. Okay. So the first card here, we're coming into an earth realm thing. And an earth realm type of thing. Let's see, what else does it say here? So you may need to think of a career that could involve finances. You are contending, you can think of tending money. So maybe like accounting, banking, finances. So these are things that you may want to look at. Things that, so what can you look at career-wise? Banking, finance, accounting, sales. So with the coming of AI technology, accounting may end up disappearing. But accounting in a sense that it may be a while, it would be learning how to help people file taxes. Every society, civilized society, you got to pay taxes. And learning tax accounting, like a certified public accounting, a CPA. Do they have CPAs in your culture? CPA, public accountants. So accounting, this is an option. Accounting, banking, finance. So finance and banking. Banking would be, it all goes under the realm of sales. The sales of banking products. How to financial products like an accountant. Do you have people in your society who help people file their taxes? So filing taxes, you have to pay taxes, and then an accountant is a person who knows the law. They yes. Okay, so accounting, there are a lot of different levels of accounting. Now, there are filing taxes is one, dealing with taxation is one job that an accountants do. So these are a thing, and then that's one thing. Then the other elements of accounting is accounts payable, accounts receivable. If you go to work as a let's say you get in the United States a 2-year accounting degree. With a 2-year accounting degree, it's the difference between 2, 4, and 6. So if you had a 6-year accounting degree, which is a master's degree, you would be in the realm of taxation, accounting for taxation, and that would be that CPA position. It would be that person who helps people to file their taxes to get to so they file taxes correctly and that they pay the least amount of taxing. Okay, so you're not interested in accounting, sir. So that's that. So but this is one sentence. That's an idea. Now that's that. How about sales? Sales is something else. And sales is a huge, wide open thing. Now let's just take something else. Maybe you're not interested in sales either. That's dealing with numbers. What does the next card say? So you are in a place of indecision, and so what the tarot is saying is just telling me in this sense is that you are feeling stuck. You are in a place of feeling stuck of where you're at, and you have to put. And then if we look at another sense of putting time and effort into something, but the preponderance of the types of energy here of things to look at, fire energy or emotion. So let's just look at the number here. So another thing is create your self-expression. So you want to choose something that's creative and it allows you to freely express yourself, which is actually sales is actually it's not a bad career. You could That's something you can do. Do you want to do hmm okay, we'll ask that. I'll ask the question. 3 card, yes, no. Social media, something to do. You may not you may okay. Can Humira make a career of social media? Social media. So that said no. This is a no on the social media because there may not be any money in it, or that opportunity may be a an illusion. Hmm. Okay. Why don't you spend a little time thinking about sales? Since banking and finance is not something that you have the patience for, or you're not totally a numerical person, and you find the whole idea of accounting and taxes and doing data entry like that extremely boring. But then the first thing about this is I said that probably artificial intelligence is going to completely eliminate accounting as a possible career in the future. But then you might want to be using things that involve your self expression, your creative skills. And sales is also extremely difficult. There's nothing easy in life because it involves having, especially when it's communicating with other people. This is hard. It's not impossible. Oh, well, that's certainly being a sales. Well, to be a makeup artist, you got to sell things. So yeah. So be self-employed. Okay, we're gonna ask. Should Humira be self-employed? 3 card, yes, no. Humira be self-employed. Well, the answer to that is okay. It's yes. You should start your own business. Of course, you're going to have to do a lot of fighting. You're going to have a lot of difficult lessons to learn, but it's going to require you Maintain your energy and be bold in your actions. Okay, and let's see what the energy behind this is too. 5, 5, 5, at 10, 10 plus 12, 22, 2 plus 2 is 4. So 4, it's about building your foundations. 4, foundation. So yeah, to be in your own business, yes, do that. Build a strong foundation. Build your strong foundations. Nails, makeup, hair, all that kind of stuff. Now, will it be? Will the outcome of that be? So what it means is that all right. Well, that could be about you got to fight. You're gonna have to fight to do this. You're gonna do this. You're gonna be fighting with others, and you're gonna have to rise above that. You have to rise above this fight. Take bold action, and then you'll have a bunch of difficult lessons to learn. And your outcome is that you're going to be learning a skill. You'll have to, I don't know about that. You're going to be learning a skill, and you're going to be working really, really hard. So go for it. Go for it. Do it. Tap into your inspiration, your creative expression. But you're going to have to be a salesperson, though. Pravika, no, my questions are closed for the night. I need to be ready to start my day in just a few hours, and so it's 2:30 in the morning, and I got to go to sleep here. Yes, you prepare your mind for business. Unfortunately, reading questions are closed due to. I'd love to stay on for a few more hours and answer more questions, but I have. I will try to come back tomorrow, but it'll be earlier in the evening, not at the same time. Okay. So is this somebody who you want to come back into your life? Is that what you're looking for? So this is somebody you want to come back into your life. Okay. So the last question that Hunera has is, will I don't know. I can't answer that question. It's It's probably because I asked Spirit. That's why. Okay, so I can't pronounce the name, and it just is a 3-card yes, no. Would this person come back into Humera's life? Will this person come back into Humera's life? Mother Mary, Humera asks for if this man will come back into her life. Will this man come back into her life? Will this man come back into her life? Yet 3-card yes, no. Well, yes, it shows that this person, there's a possibility that this person will come back into your life. So that's what Spirit has says, and there's a possibility that this person will come back into your life. But maybe you will be needing to be in a different state of being for this to happen. So the types of, so if you become self-employed, you build up your business, you build your business up, and you're in a state of fertility where your business and your ability to sell yourself and that people come to you as a business person. You make those connections and you come into yourself, into this energy of this queenly energy, in command of the world that is around them. That's the first step, and that can happen. You build your business up. You go through the steps that you can, and then you need to build into yourself a sense of we're not talking about that. Emotional maturity and balance in your life. So you'll have to, but the things that's gonna stand in your way, the thing that's gonna stand in your way of this happening is you becoming too stuck on yourself. You becoming too stuck on yourself, too like, okay, so being in a state where, okay, you gain a sense of balance, you gain a sense of maturity, you gain a sense of material abundance, and then the things that will stand in your way of attracting this person into your life as a mate will be your being too addicted to your own success, your own being. Okay, so it's like how do I put this? You have your own power. You have your own power. And your power has a light side and a shadow side. If you fall and spend too much time in your shadow self and let your shadow self rule you, this will make that relationship difficult to achieve. So if this guy wants to be with you, he will come back. But you know what? However, something else may happen. If you build up your business, you gain these skills. You gain the skills, the sales ability, the ability to sell yourself, the ability to make money, to be financially independent in this world. You may not want this guy. You may not want this person. Maybe you want this person now, but you put a little time and a little distance between this thing, and you just work on yourself. You just work on building your business and make that your priority. Because you invite a potential romantic partner into your life and it can gum up the entire works. That's what I'm trying to say. So I have to go, but that's what my advice is to you on this situation is don't pursue a relationship at this time. If one happens, it happens. If it's this guy, it's this guy. But first, you build yourself up first. This is what you need to do first. This happens. And so this number, creative expression, I got that number here. This is what the state that you need to come into being. Okay? And don't worry about men at this time. In actuality, just don't worry about it. Work on becoming your best self. And those other things will come later because someone else may come along who doesn't have as much trauma in their life. Maybe this other person you are stuck on, maybe this guy, maybe he might end up, he may not be good for you. Maybe someone will come along that is emotionally and an emotionally mature man that is tolerant of you, of your desires to be a businesswoman. Someone who will match you and be a partner in this life. This is a possibility. This is a possibility for you. Okay? So just forget about guys right now. Just forget about them and just work on your career. Work on your career. Do that. That's the most important thing. Guys, men, that's not important right now. Okay. Because here's the thing is also, Hunera, will not be able to build a business if you are if you have children and young children to take care of. You will not be able to do that. And so if you get married right now, you're going to end up having in 9 months from now, you're going to end up with children. You're going to end up having your first child will be coming 9-10 months down the road from now, and you will not be able to build this business. It just won't happen. So that's my advice for you. Okay, and I am going to sign off for tonight, and I will be back later. So you already have a child and you're divorced. Okay. So she's not, 11 years old. And so, but you can just imagine, can you imagine if you were to try to build a business and you have a newborn infant? Okay. Okay. So work on building your business, and men will come later. That is, if you even want one, because you may not want one. You have to leave that open as a possibility that you might be better off by yourself. Yes, you can build your business. That's within your power. You can do that. Yeah, right now. There's no sense waiting. Okay, I'm gonna call it a night. And Anne, the first question I read was you. So when I turn this off and I make this video public, you can go watch the first half hour of this video, and that question is for you. That's right. That's right. And your child, as she gets older, she can help you. She can be a partner, a person that can help you to build up your business. If your child so desires. You do beauty work. There'll be jobs for your children to do in that. Yeah. Okay, that's it. It's 2:30 in the morning. I got to get up in a few hours. Doing these readings like this always energizes my brain out, and it makes it hard to get to sleep. And thank you very much for letting me read for you. And I'll see all you guys the next time. Thank you very much for your support. And I apologize for those who I couldn't get to read for. I'll be back another day, tonight maybe, early tomorrow morning, for another night of reading. Bye-bye. I know we didn't ask for this, but this is me. You can see I'm a gray-haired old guy. I have so that's me. I'm a gray-haired old guy. I'm an old guy. Anyways, I need to go for now. I have an early morning. It is 2:30 in the morning, 2:30 a.m., Sunday, August 10th. And I need to be awake in 6 hours, I guess. All right. Good night. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for your support. And I'll be back another day, tonight, maybe even tonight, for another night of. We're 12 hours up. So we're 12 hours apart. 12 hours apart. All right. Good night. And thank you very much.